Alright, so today we're going to take a look at this Super Nintendo again. This is the same one I fixed the cartridge connector for in another video. Today we're going to be looking at is this power input here. As you can see, there's usually a little plastic connector here, and that piece is actually broken off here. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this piece here. And just to give you an example of what that should look like, I'll show you on another one here. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So that little plastic centerpiece is broken off here. You can actually see it's chipped here as well. So we're going to be replacing that. I bought a replacement piece from eBay. It's just this right here. This was about $5 or $6, pretty inexpensive. We're just going to put that on there, desolder the other one, and we're going to solder the new one on here with these 2 points. So let's get this opened up and let's take a look at it. Okay, so let's get this opened up. We just have to flip it over. We have to remove all these screws here. So we're going to grab our game bit connector here. I'm just going to get all those out. All right. Just going to try to get these out here pretty quick. All right. And we're just going to grab those screws out here with this magnetic bit, just to grab them before we flip it over so we don't lose any of them. All right, and that's all of them. So let's go ahead and flip this guy back over. We're going to take off the top case, put that off to the side. We're going to take out the ejector. Just take out that bar, take the lever out. We're actually going to turn it on here to discharge anything that's there. We're going to remove the controller ports here. Just going to pull out this little ribbon cable. And there we go. Put that off to the side as well. And we're going to put on a Phillips bit here. And we're just going to get these all taken apart. Just take these screws out. Okay. Push that out of the way. Oh, can't miss this little spring there for the ejector. Right, take some of these guys out. Ready? There we go. We're going to pull this shielding up from the back, because these little teeth fit in that plastic part. We're also going to remove the ejector here, or the connector, not the ejector. Give me a little bit of a tough time there. Just try this. There we go. All right, got those off. I'm just going to wiggle this guy up here off the board. There we go. Them off to the side. All right, and we should be able to get out of the board here, unless I'm missing one, which I could be. So let's see if we can get him out of there. Ah, there we go. So that's that guy right there. So let's get him out of there. This last one. There we go. Get that out. And now let's see if he's coming up. This one. Come on there eventually. There we go. Okay, so now let's see if we can get him. There's still something on there. Oh, my gosh. This guy as well. So many screws. All right, let's get you out of here. Let's now it's all of them. So let's get this out of the way. And we just have to take a look at this piece. So I think there's one screw on the bottom. Yep, there we go. And this is where we're going to be desoldering it. And we're just going to go ahead and take this screw out. Pop him off there. And I'm going to grab my solder wick, because we're going to need that to get rid of that. And we're also going to have to kind of flux it up a little bit just to keep that solder flowing. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit of flux on that. This is just a flux pen. And this just keeps the solder from kind of drying up. Just kind of keeps it running there. So we got that there. And let's just get that started. So I got my soldering iron heated up already. And we are just going to take some clean part of this. And we're just going to get this flowing again. And just get it absorbing right onto the wick. All right. I'm actually going to trim this because I used a little bit of that. So we're going to go ahead and trim this up here. This with these cutters. There we go. So then we got a little bit of more fresh wick here. I'm trying to put a little bit more of this flux on there because I think it still needs a little bit more. You can usually get this also in like a paste, but I like the pen because it's just a little easier just to get it where you want it. There we go. Okay, so now let's do this again. Just keep the flux, keep the solder flowing here. We're just going to absorb it up. Try to prevent the wick from getting soldered to it. There we go. All right, now let's start with this guy here. All right, and just kind of absorb that. I think I've said it before, but the wick does get pretty hot, so you can't hold it too long. So we're just getting that absorbed. Get some of that. We're just trying to get as much of that up off the pad here as we can. We're just kind of absorbing it into the wick. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So let's see if we can kind of get that off. And I think this can be a little bit tricky to kind of get off here, so we might have to kind of fiddle with it a little bit. And still a little bit in there. So let's see if we can give it a little bit of a push here. I'm just going to switch over to like a Phillips head. And we're just going to kind of give this a little bit of a push. See if we can kind of loosen it up a little bit. Oop, not that much. Come right back. See if we can kind of just get that coming out. Loosen that up. It is in there pretty good. Let's see if we can, I'm just going to take this off camera here just for a minute. Okay, so I did eventually get that off of there. As you can see, that was pretty tough actually to get off. So that was pretty tough one. It took a little bit more force than I was expecting, but we did get it off of there. So that is good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the new one on here, and we're gonna see if we can hopefully be a little bit more gentle with it this time. Yeah, I was not expecting that to be so tough. Let's see, let's get this guy on there. It's gonna be a tough fit here. Just kind of have to go over and under. So let's see if we can get this guy in there without tearing it apart. So there we go. Just kind of weaseling it in there. All right, so we got that all set. And we weaseled that guy in there, and it looks pretty good. So we squeezed that guy on there. Kind of bent this pin a little bit, so we're just going to bend that back. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of flux on here. Kind of flux those up, get those ready. And we are just going to go ahead and solder those points back on. So let's go ahead and do that. And just going to feed a little bit. Got to heat up the pad and the tab. A little bit of solder on. I'm just going to make sure we're not running too much of that into the underside here. So just making sure it's not running in there. So let's go ahead and keep feeding some of the solder in. And it's starting to look pretty good. So just got to keep going until we cover that tab up. And that's pretty good. Make sure it's not. I'm just checking under here inside of the enclosure in this area, just making sure I'm not feeding too much into there. But that's on there pretty good. And then see if we can go ahead and repeat that for this one. So just going to heat it up, feed a little bit of solder in. All right, so finish that up and finish this guy up as well. Okay, so we're going to call that good enough. All right, so that's good enough. All right, so now we're just going to clean that up again with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and we're just going to rub these points here. So just going to get some of that excess flux and whatnot off of there. Kind of clean that up. You see quite a bit's coming up. And just get that cleaned up. There we go. Looks all right. Not the best soldering, but it will do. All right, so I'm going to get this all put back together, and then we will check if it works. I'm just going to speed this up so I don't have to watch the whole process all over again. All right, so it's all put back together. What we're going to do is we're going to hook it up to the TV and see if it works. All right, so we got it all hooked up here. Take a look at the back. Take this power cable out. You can see we got the new faceplate on there. No longer have those exposed wires. Go ahead and pop that back in. Spin it around. Hit the power button. And we do have power, which is good. And there we go. So looks like it's a-okay. So pretty quick fix. Just have to replace that faceplate. It's a couple $2 on eBay. And that's it. So let me know if you have any thoughts on the video. Leave me a comment below. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks.